almost things must come to an end again, I guess, because the last two times I've come to you with the post game bounce, we have ended winning streaks. So, yes, I think I'm starting to take it personally. What's up, everybody? I'm Uncle Buck of the Two Buck Sports Show, and this is your post game bounce recapping the Grizzlies' 116 to 110 loss in Los Angeles against the Lakers. And listen, the final score was frustrating. It was much worse than that most of the game. And for all of you that stayed up late and watched it, you would have kind of just rather had a 20-point loss instead of the constant coming back and you fight and you fight and you lose at 11 o'clock at night. But so is life when you're in the NBA and you cheer for a team that doesn't live on the West Coast. So let's get into it. Anthony Davis was outstanding, head and shoulders the best player on the court. And for large stretches of time, he cannot be stopped. That is something that the Grizzlies have got to address. Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't get the opportunity to guard him a lot, although he did have his fair share of moments. And listen, Jaren got some wins, but tonight was just Anthony Davis's night. He got to everything. He shot a pretty fair amount of free throws. He finishes with 40 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He shot 15 of 22 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3. And the 1-3 was just kind of a dagger. Listen, the Grizzlies got down early. The Lakers started off with a 9-2 run, first play of the game. Brandon Clark gets a floater in the lane that you feel like he hits 9 out of 10 times. He missed it. A couple more easy shots, and then remaining possessions, you're down 9-2. Props to the Grizzlies, though, they did come back early. But when which is a theme of this game, you expend a lot of energy to get back into the game. You just don't have that energy to surge on through and take a lead and take a commanding lead and hold on to the lead. So, listen, story of the show here, just go through some stats. I was really kind of surprised. So this game ended as a 6-point loss, but the Lakers led by as much as 23 points, and I feel like it was 23 most of the time. The Grizzlies would cut it down to 10, and then would go back to 20, and then they would cut it to 9, it'd go back to 15, and they'd cut it down to 10, it'd go back to 18. Just one of those games where you just couldn't get the lead to go all the way through to put you on top. Grizzlies shot 39% from the field, and they shot 32% from 3. Only took 28 attempts, but listen, in the NBA, if you're going to shoot 32% from 3, you're not going to do very well. They did shoot 30 free throws at an 83% clip. Conversely, the Lakers, they shot 47% from the field and 30% from 3 and 72% from free throws. 9 more free throws from LA than the Lakers, but listen, this was not a poorly officiated game. Taylor Jenkins did pick up a tech, but I mean, it felt like it just referees missed calls, but this wasn't a game that was decided by the referees. So let's go through the Grizzlies. So John Morant, 31 points, 20 points, but it was a very inefficient 20 points. 6 of 20 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 6 of his 20 from the free throw line, and he had 7 turnovers. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 turnovers. Just not good. Just not good at all. Listen, you allow your superstar to have bad games every once in a while, but it seems like this is the second time, the other time being the Kings in recent memory, where you feel like you've had to overcome Ja. He wasn't nearly as bad in this game as he was against the Kings, but there's just something missing on this team. And listen, the big three we'll just round out the big three. Jaren Jackson Jr. was incredible, 25, 5, and 2. He was 9 of 13 from the field goals and 2 of 3 from threes. He was really good, but he had a boneheaded fourth quarter, which allowed him to miss the last 4 minutes of the game because he fouled out 94 feet away from the basket trying to steal a rebound from Anthony Davis. Just dumb. And then Desmond Bane, listen, 28 minutes, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He was minus 12 for the game. John Morant was minus 8 on the game. Jaren Jackson Jr. is minus 13 on the game. This is twice in recent memory we've had to overcome our starting lineup. Who helped overcome it? I'm going to get to the big one later. Luke Kennard was really good. 18 minutes, 12 points, 3 rebounds. He was a plus 18. He was 3 of 7 from the field and 3 of 4 from 3. Listen, I didn't really care for the lineups in which he was the ball handler. You know, in the fourth quarter, I believe that there was a lineup of Luke, Jake, Santi, Brandon, and Jalen Wells. And that, for a couple of possessions, felt really scary with Luke Kennard being the primary ball handler and initiator of the offense. But they cut the lead, and they cut the lead quick, got it down to single digits. And then the starters come back in. They just could not finish it. And like I said, it's twice in recent memory that the starters can't get you over the hump. And I don't know why. But here we are. This drops us to 18-9, so 27 games into the season. And it just doesn't feel like you've got the character to come back. You don't feel like you've got the stones about you. That's just somebody says, like, this isn't happening. And we're going to go win this game. We're not going to get beat like this. We're not going to continue to make these mistakes and play sloppy. That's what this game was. They didn't shoot the ball well, and they played awful, sloppy. They were missed lobs all game long, just disjointed, weird. But listen, I'm not going to use the F word. I am not going to use the F word with this team, and this team is legit, and they can be legit. But I have an F word I want to throw out there, and this is a problem. And they're front runners. In their 18 wins this year, they have only trailed by double digits 3 times. I said this a long time ago, and it remains true. The Grizzlies have not played a lot of close games this year. They're either getting blown out or they're winning big. Now, this was a 6-point game, but this game was a blowout. Listen, on 3 occasions, the Grizzlies have overcome a double-digit deficit to win a game this year. They were against Indiana, Detroit, and Chicago. 3 awful teams. Now, at Chicago, that was the first half 20-point deficit that we were in. That was remarkable. Indiana and Detroit, those leads were early in the second quarter against teams that aren't very good. So it's not really easy to, hold on to that win, to put that feather in your cap. 3 times have the Grizzlies overcome a double-digit lead to win. So when you get down, Goose is pretty well cooked. And I felt like the Grizzlies fans, I know I was talking to my co-host Rusty during the game yesterday, and we just kind of were like, yeah, we know how this is going to go. We've seen this movie. And that's frustrating for a team that you expect to contend for the top half of the Western Conference and a shot at a Western Conference Finals berth. Like, you're going to have to be able to course correct. This team has not shown the capability to course correct. We're a veteran team now. Somebody in that locker room, and it looks like it's Jaren, just has to be like, we're not doing this. We're not winning this game. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to do it now. They've not shown the ability to do that as a team. Not as the starters, that is. The bench against the Kings and last night against the Lakers have led the resurgence back into the game. The starters tonight were not able to capitalize on the ground that was made up by their bench unit. So it's something you got to look at going forward. You got another long break here. The Grizzlies do not play till Thursday, and they play the Warriors. So you better not just sit around and mope. You're going to have to go play another game on Thursday against the Western Conference playoff team. So not all is doom and gloom, though. We'll get back on the horse, and we'll get a couple more wins on us. So listen, I'm Uncle Buck of the 2 Buck Sports Show. The 2 Buck Sports Show is live every Tuesday and Thursday on Bluff City Media's YouTube page, or exactly the same spot where you're watching this. So check that out tomorrow at noon on Bluff City Media. I'm Uncle Buck. Thank you for watching. Have a good week.